So I always think it's really fun being a tax practitioner during a year where there's pending legislation that proposes significant changes to the tax code. The flip side of that could be that there's a mix of anticipation and concern among not only the tax community, but also our clients, right? And so it makes sense that so far during 2025, M&A activity has been rebounding across all sectors, but not without a bit of caution and selectivity. So private equity sponsors are getting creative by using minority stakes, non-controlling investments, and even SBA loans to deploy capital. And then there's really this interest in strategic buyers we're seeing more of, where owners are gravitating towards strategic buyers that have synergistic benefits. So technology also plays a huge role here to allow for accelerated digital transformation. And there's value premiums for those tech-enabled targets, especially where we have, employees continuing after a transaction or a real care for a continuation of the culture of that business. And then, of course, one of the questions we get all the time right now is what is the potential impact on M&A with this tax legislation? Some things we're seeing there again, the reinstatement of 100% bonus depreciation could have a real impact on how a buyer wants to structure a transaction. The immediate deduction of research and development costs could have a nice benefit for those buyers as well. And again, add value for the sellers, those target companies. And then an increase in the 199A deduction from 20% to 23% may have an impact on how we want to structure. What type of vehicle do we want to use to make this acquisition, to sell our company, and how do we want to be structured post-deal? Our latest offering that we now have for a client is what we call our market readiness assessment. So what that shows a client is, hey, based on the financials I filed, my tax returns that have been filed, my formation documents and agreements that are written or perhaps unwritten between shareholders and employees, am I ready to go to market? And that's really ideal 1 to 2 years out from a transaction, because it gives that client time to take any corrective measures they may before they get in front of a potential buyer.